Um, and then a lot of the issues that we have with the arena and some of the other issues should be fixed. Um, One thing that you guys will probably notice this last couple patches, we've been pumping out a ton of PvP content.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to work on PvP, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah,
PvP,
blah.
yeah, PvP content for the next couple months before we go into full bug fix mode.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Getting ready for release at the tentatively in the beginning of next year.
Now, is PvP going to be a massive focus of the game, or you want it to be, a big part, but not everything strictly based on PvP?
So, no, not everything's based on PvP. I mean, technically, if you want to go in and never PvP, you never have to step into a contested area,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be just as happy working off whatever faction you go to. However, if you're into PvP or you like a mixture of everything, we have a mixture of everything. Um, we tried to deploy things where it wouldn't absolutely make you go in the contested areas, so you wouldn't have to PvP. But the accessibility for like higher end resources and all that stuff are a lot more accessible in the contested area. It's kind of a risk versus reward thing.
Right. So at least that way, because I know some people don't like to PvP. And, like, I get it. I understand. But I'm, like, a hardcore kind of PvP person. So I can be a little crazy when it comes to stuff like that. But at least for people that aren't interested in it, this dude is super strong. Holy Nelly. Ooh, Nelly. Ooh, Nelly. Oh, no. I'll tell you what, these bosses are no joke. Oh, got me
Well,
again.
there's a couple bosses there that you need more than one person to take.
Hmm.
And the one that you're fighting right now,
Is one of those ones.
yeah, he's a 3+ person fight.
Damn. Well, I mean, I think I did pretty good on getting him down. He'll whoop my butt, though. Alright. Let me pop over there. Alright. Let me do this real quick. And then I guess I will hop out of here. Oh, I have mail. I've got mail. Oh, this dude. Okay, you know what? This is good, because he wants pyrite. We're gonna do some mining. Show everybody some mining. I love crafting and gathering and all that stuff. I'm like hardcore for that stuff. And PvP, go figure.
Well, on this tutorial, one thing that we did is we took, basically what all the players said they absolutely hated or wanted to see in the old tutorial when we
Mm-hmm.
created this one. So this one, it gives you starter set of equipment so you can go out and mine and log and all that good stuff, as well as you have there your a beginning vehicle, so you don't get out in the world and have no wheels because that sucks. Having around
Yeah,
the world.
I'm still running around on foot on my other character. And it was like, people are like, oh, we'll go to the training area. And, they had all this stuff. And it's like, I missed out on a lot. So then I restart and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot there was a new training area. I was like, it's so pretty. I like just ran around taking in the scenery for a while.
Right. So this is actually in an instant setting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not connected to the open world at all.
Right.
And that's by design. So if we get a influx of new players in, we're not killing the. That was the other issue with the old one was we'd get an influx of players in, because for instance we're doing a Steam sale on the 21st for
Ooh.
2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Um, and we normally get an influx of players when we open the sales, and we were noticing the performance issues, and the players are complaining about it. So we put it in an instance, and you get so many players in here, it'll create a second instance, so that way you don't have those performance issues.
That's awesome. Now, what were some of the problems? You said that you need to wait for the Hero Engine patch to come out. Have the problems been really bad with it, or is it just certain issues that just need to be patched and changed around and things like that? As far as like the reason for certain things having to wait for the patches to come out for that, or the update.
So there's a platform that we work off of, which is our game engine, and our game engine has certain issues with it. So, like any programming, there's going to be some conflicts and issues and stuff. So we've worked with Hero Engine to get those engine issues resolved, and a lot of them have been fixed in this Quartz patch that's coming out that we'll be introducing into our game next patch after the current one here, and the 15.8.2 I think it is there. It'll be hitting mid-September.
Okay.
So with that patch, we should see a huge change. You should see a lot of the little annoyances with the engine that we can't fix. That this is little bugs that the players complain about, and I know that some of them feel like we're ignoring them. We're really not. We just can't fix the engine issues without
it actually coming from the manufacturer of them. Gotcha. So would you say that Hero Engine's been hard to work with, or has it been easy to work with, and overall you've had a good experience with it?
It's like anything else. When you work with another company, it's everything's got its ups and downs.
Now, I noticed that there's a notification on the US West server. I believe you guys are changing the West server.
So with the West server, what's going on with it? We are shutting it down. We let the players know that as of September 4th, we'll be closing that server.
Okay.
And what we're going to do with that server is we're going to wipe it, and we're going to put the hardcore rule sets on it. And then closer to beta, we'll put some more information out about exactly when we're going to bring it back up. In the meantime, we're basically going to try to do some Q&A with it, and see if we can't. When we open it back up for the hardcore setting, it'll be a fresh server for players to jump back into and start playing on.
Now, what exactly does the hardcore consist of?
So the hardcore consists of, it's more geared towards the hardcore PvPers, the people that they want a PvP. So outside of being in the major cities, you're PvP all the time.
Right.
There's a post in our forums that spreads it all out, exactly the details. But like, there's some body looting for killing players. It doesn't actually take your inventory; it gives you off a loot table.
Okay. So there's going to be there's no risk of having like super awesome gear and then losing it to someone. It's going to be more, well, you killed this person, so here's a couple things you can pick from.
Tentatively right now, I wouldn't rule out us going
full loot.
Full loot. I mean, what we've done is we did a questionnaire a while back, probably, I don't know, a year ago or so, and asked players what they'd like to see, and then also there's been several posts on it, and we kind of compiled everything together and put the best thing that we could forward. But that's not to say that we can't adjust it based off what players want to see as we get the server open.
Gotcha. That should be pretty freaking cool too. Now, obviously there will also be sieges on that guy as well, or that server as well. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. Or are you just gonna, is hardcore going to just be PvP 100% of the time, or are you going to have different things available on that server as opposed to a standard server?
Well, we'll still have PvE content there as well. It's just, understanding that on the PvP server, or the hardcore server, you're there to, you're wanting a PvP. So, when you show up and you're out there fighting, you always have it in the back of your mind that there's a chance there might be opposite faction lurking in the weeds. That's the kind of thing with the PvP server. And then, there'll be sieges. I'm sure there'll be tons of sieges. And in beta, we would really want to see, how that works out and how players like it. So when we hit live, we can better have a grasp on exactly the rule set we want for the hardcore server.
Now, T'Challa wants to know, do you have a time frame for when beta will release?
We haven't set a date on it yet. Basically, after PAX, we're supposed to sit down and hash out exactly what features we're going to continue to add to what we consider feature complete until after launch.
Okay.
Once we achieve feature complete, that means we've put the base to all the features that we want in the game prior to launch, and then we can, at that point, start looking at beta. But until then, that's why we haven't set a hard date on it, because we want to see exactly.
Gotcha.
We don't want to go in beta still adding features. We want to go in beta where we're in bug fix mode. We're working on performance issues. We're working on fixing all the bugs and all that stuff, and not adding new things to the game as far as brand new features that are being hard coded.
Gotcha. So you want pretty much the basic stuff down, or the base of everything down, and then you can build on top of that.
Right.
Gotcha. And at any time anybody has any questions, please feel free to type them in chat. I will ask them. They will get answered. Now, overall, since the last patch, or since the last time we talked, how would you say things have been going as far as, have you gotten more players? Is everybody, enjoying it so far? How's the continuing, I wouldn't say criticism, but how's everybody coming along? Are they liking it? Are you finding more people are liking it? What's the overall idea from the populace, would you say?
Well, that's always kind of a double-edged sword. Some people really like the game. A lot of people think the game has a lot of potential. They like to see a lot of the bugs fixed before they return. There's a lot of players that come in, they play it for a couple of weeks. They're like, yeah, this is a really good game, but I'm going to wait until you guys do your final wipe before I come and put a lot of effort and time in, which is totally understandable. Since the last time we talked, we've completely revamped the entertainer system. Now it's a mini game system. We've revamped, let's see what else we revamped. Drawing a complete blank. We've done so much stuff in the game, I can't even think of all of it. Because it's been, 2 months since we talked?
Yeah, it's been about 2 months. Maybe 2 months and a week or something like that.
Yeah, so we've done, let's see, the new, this is new, the tutorial. We've done some combat upgrades, quite a few combat upgrades, animation upgrades for a lot of different skills.
So there's been quite a bit of change. Well, I shouldn't say quite a bit of change, but there's been a lot of work put into quite a few things, especially with this big patch that just came out on the 11th.
Well, I mean, if you guys watch our patches, none of our patches are small. We try to cram as much bug fixes and implementations and stuff in as we possibly can. You know, fighting hard to get to that ever looming release date.
Oh, T-Chow, I just have everything on my one bar for right now. I'm still not, like, as I get further in, I start to get crazy and have everything, like, broken down. You'll, trust me, it gets crazy. Now, actually, that brings me to a question. Are we going to have more than one action bar up? Can we do, like, 3 or 4 action bars at the bottom? Or is it going to stick to just, like, the single or a double?
So that's the other thing that we've discussed is being able to adjust your bars to fit how you see fit, kind of a UI customization. We haven't decided exactly what level or how in depth we're going to go with that. So it is something that we've discussed, but it's not something that we have a detailed plan for yet. So I want to tell you bad information, or rather not just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's understandable. So that might be something we can hold, a little hope we can hold on to. But it's workable if it's not. But you know, a lot of people like the UI customization. Also, people always want to know if you can do mods. If mods can be built, can you do UI mods, overlays, things like that? Is that something that's going to be allowable further down the road, or you're not gonna touch that and just let it go for right now?
Yeah, that one there, I'm gonna leave that one open-ended for now. I don't want to say no, but I also don't want to say yes, so gotcha. I'm just gonna leave that go.
So there you go, Spectrum. Is it moddable? Not sure yet. Maybe, maybe not. But so other than that, now, how do you think PAX is going to go? Have you guys done a PAX yet, or is this your first one?
Yes, we did PAX 2 years ago, PAX Prime.
Okay.
Last year I was at PAX East. We didn't do a booth. We just went there and did a lot of interviews and talked with a lot of players that ran into us while we were there. Which this year we're also planning on going to PAX East and doing a booth. So if you can't make it out to the West, we'll be coming to the East, and I may be going to PAX South, but I doubt it. It all depends on how things go during that time, whether or not I can get away to go down there. We probably won't do a booth. We're primarily going to focus East and West.
Gotcha. Now, at PAX, are you guys going to be doing any question panels or anything? Or is it just going to be, come on over to the booth, come play, sit down, talk, you know, we can answer pretty much any of your questions?
Well, yeah, you can come over and ask questions and stuff. Like I said, they'll all be there to answer your questions and everything. I think Josh is slotted for a panel. I don't know if it got canceled or not. He was supposed to do the MMORPG panel. Other than that, we're slotted to meet with a bunch of press and stuff while we're there as well. So we'll have a press station up for, you know, our press schedule, which is pretty busy for us. I think we got 25 different press outlets we're meeting with.
Ooh, nice. That's awesome. You guys are going to be hopping. Now, is there going to be any events going on, or further down the road once everything is done and set? I'm sure you know how some games like to do, like, special events in game for holidays and things like that. Do you guys have anything within the lore or anything like that that would facilitate doing, like, special events, special holidays, in certain holidays on this particular universe.
Yes, we actually put in a couple festivals already. They came in, I think, the patch before last. Which are key points in the lore. For instance, the landing, the anniversary of the landing on Rildan will be one of the festivals that we do. Of course, then the holidays, Halloween, we might do something, but all that stuff more than likely will come out after release. As far as the additional events we do, I'm actually working with the GMs right now, trying to come up and build some events to do with the players, just off the wall little events to have fun with the players and produce some content, attract some players to come in and play that haven't played in a while.
Would you guys ever consider doing well, I guess maybe you might be able to do some siege event after the basics are added in, where it's the players versus the GMs and what have you, and the programmers and stuff. That might be pretty cool.
That'd be so unfair.
It would be unfair. Just be
we totally don't get to play. We're always working on the game.
Well, I mean, you could take a day off and shoot people. Come on.
Yeah, but you guys, it's like what's his name? The Prism that's on that server. He's unbeatable.
Well, yeah, but you guys have the kill button. You have the God finger. You could just be /dead.
Besides, we can't allow a snafu to get that much ability to troll players.
Oh, that's true. That's really true. Snafu is funny though. But I mean, that would be kind of cool. But you're right. You guys would have the upper hand. We'd get blown away. It'd still be fun though.
Yeah,
something to think about. Oh man, this game is just so cool, and there's so much to it. It really is. Is there anything that might be getting added that you can sneakily tell us or drop hints?
Let's see.
Or is everything pretty much out in the open at this point? No hidden gems.
Well, there's some hidden skill lines. I'll tell you that. There's some hidden skill lines out there.
Ooh.
Nobody has yet found.
Oh, really?
They've been out for a while. Nobody's found them yet.
Ooh. Now, are you going to give achievements to the people that find them, or?
Well, they'll have those abilities. They'll have those skills. It'll be
that'll be an achievement in of itself.
Oh yeah.
Are they real hard abilities to get, or is it just something that people are just missing?
It's not easy. It's not set to be easy. It's something to work for. It's kind of an in-game thing to strive for.
Okay.
And you have to do a certain. You have to get certain builds in a certain way. To put it this way, the devs are so secretive about it that GMs can't even just give themselves those skills. They have to earn them too.
Oh, nice. Nicodemus wants to know will there be aerial vehicles?
Aerial vehicles, as in exactly.
Aerial vehicles as
as in flight.
Yes.
So that's one of our post-launch goals, is to add the addition to space and possibly other planets.
Other planets. Ooh. Now, would there possibly be combat if that's...
Oh, there would totally be combat.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So we can... Spaceship combat confirmed. That'll be super.
But like I said, that is a post-launch thing. That's not something that's will be in before we release.
Right. So, are you looking forward to PAX? Are you looking forward to the new patch? Are you looking forward to PAX? Is there anything that you're really, really, really looking forward to, that you're really excited that's coming out or being added or tweaked or anything like that?
Well, actually, quite a bit. The energy thing I think is awesome because it gives us a baseline to be able to go a bunch of different ways, a bunch of different areas, add a whole bunch of different content, both PvP and PvE. And we'll can possibly create a different thing for players, where they can hire, maybe if they're PvEers and don't want to do PvP, they can hire PvPers to go out and get the stuff that they want in the PvP areas. I mean, it creates a whole different additional layer of market for the community. Then the sieging, once it gets in, it's been a long time goal to get in, and a lot of players have been wanting it. I know right now there's some tension on the East server because we got all these guys from West coming over. All the guys on the East were all happy with their economy and everything. Then West came over and started beating them down in price, so that's created a little tension. So, I'm curious to see what it's going to happen when they run into each other, because right now there's a little bit of hate between a couple different nations.
I've noticed some of the prices on certain things have gone up, and I was like, ooh, okay.
Well, some things have gone up, some things have gone down. The guys over from West, their market was a lot smaller because their population was a little bit smaller than the East. So,
right.
When they came over to a larger market, so they were able to affect the market change quite a
drastically,
bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good for them, though. I'm glad that they were able to do that. That's, and that's kind of good in a way to see how people react to the economy change, too. Because at least then you can kind of try to gauge how people react, make sure people aren't, like, working the system or anything like that as well.
Well, that's the thing. People that work the system, they pop hot on our list, and we have some pretty aggressive some logging going on and stuff that we do on the back end to, like, anti-cheat, a lot of the anti-software stuff that we run on the back end that monitors logs and that sort of thing. So when we get that stuff in, we just, we investigate it, and right now we're not doing anything to players per se, because we're using them to better our detection systems and find our issues and stuff. Like, we found a pretty good issue here a couple weeks ago that was based off what we found from a player that was exploiting, and we found all that by logs. We never talked to him one time. And now we've since patched it, so that exploit's not in anymore.
Nice. Now, have people found exploits that you were like, how in the world did this even, like, come up type thing, or how did they figure this out? Or has it just been like, okay?
Yeah, there's been some pretty wild ones people found in the past. One person found that if they jumped in a rock and moved items from inventory slot to another inventory slot, that it would keep one item in the original inventory slot, so they're able to double their items. I mean, and that one I kind of scratched my head. And how did what made you think to do that?
Yeah, that's craziness. Some people are kind of crazy. That's like...
But that was when we first got into Alpha 4, when we first started the last servers back in December, so that's been fixed a long, long time ago.
Yeah, but that's wild. Some people, it really is amazing what they can find and what they'll try. But you know what? That's also not necessarily a bad thing, because at least people are trying all sorts of things. Maybe not things you guys would try.
Well, I don't know. We have Snafu. He'll try a bunch of different crazy things. But no, our staff is pretty diverse in their gaming experiences, and they all have their own little nick and crannies that they go and try to break and do various things.